live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn. Okay, what's this one all about?
Oh, God. Oh, this is one of my favorites in... Oh, wait, hold on. So, Martin Scorsese himself said that this was one of the tops... I don't remember what number he used, but was one of the scariest movies out there.
It is a scary movie.
I've always liked this one because it's something you don't see. I can't spell.
I liked it. I wanted to see more people die.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, you know, I didn't think that it was a quote unquote true story.
I've always kind of wanted to see Ron Silver die. I don't know why. He's just so milquetoast every time I see him.
I kind of like Ron Silver. I mean, he's okay.
No, but I mean, he's just kind of your average actor that I've seen in a lot of cop shows, if I remember right. And
yeah, he was on a couple 3 years of West Wing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this, the description's like a woman tormented and sexually molested by an invisible demon. That's basically the description.
The sexual molestation.
The Barbara Hershey, by the way.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah. She really, considering that she's acting all alone.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to look like she's getting the bone, and it looked like she was getting the bone.
I've got to figure. So, did they make a whole torso for this? Like a whole lower, like, I mean, so the first scene, there's one scene, this happens twice, where you see something touching her breast and the breasts are moving. Obviously, They made some kind of mold and they just pulled it from the inside or something.
Right. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Air bladders, probably.
And then, so how do they do where it looked like a whole body? And it probably wasn't her body, but I guess they just did a plaster cast of her and then manipulated I don't know. It looked pretty good for the 70s.
Yeah. Well, they had her...
What year was this? 1982.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Still, it was pretty damn good for the
it was really
80s.
I mean, these were air bladders, but the scene where you see the air bladders is just a chest. And
just a chest. Well, there's another scene where you see her kind of from... She's getting attacked, and they show a shot from behind, and you can see the breast moving, and the legs are kind of not really moving very well, but... I
don't remember it.
So that's one thing that really scared me when I first saw this, because I saw this probably when I was too young. But
yeah,
anyways,
probably.
I did see
probably.
this. I was young. I was actually probably 13 or 14, I would guess, when I rented it.
Right.
And I just remember watching that scene. It was really freaky. Like, I couldn't see what was attacking her. And the whole movie was like that.
It is. And the thing is the acting was really good in it. I mean, you know, she was great. And the thing is there was something convincing about her ability to be in the middle of like something she doesn't understand.
This is kind of like the first half of Mother. Jennifer Lawrence was actually pulling off to being alone and sad and depressed and scared and
right. No, and this
kind of reminded me of that. I hate to say it, but
yeah.
But no, Jennifer Lawrence's performance in Mother was actually good up to that left turn it took.
Up until they ate the baby. Go ahead and say it. Up until they ate a baby. Right.
No, I think it was before that. But anyway,
it was somewhat before that.
No, but this... Okay, one thing I was wondering how you felt, because this was 2 hours and... What was it?
It was long.
2 hours and 5 minutes.
Right.
And it had that old style pacing.
It did, and I fixed that.
Oh, see, I kind of adjusted.
I put it at time. I
can adjust
time and a half
pacing.
I put it at time and a half
because I think we've had this argument before. Yeah. Where Halloween, for example, I love the pacing in the Halloween movie.
See, slow pacing to me.
I felt like there were some scenes where there was a lot of dialogue that could have been.
I'd have to be wetting my pants to want to sit through a time after I wet my pants where I was just doing nothing for a good 5 minutes. Okay? See, that's what I'm saying is when I wet my pants, you know what I want to do? I want to wet my pants again.
I think it helps build the gloomy feeling that like, oh, this is depressing. This lady is, you know. But that's, I don't know. Maybe I just got into it and I could deal with slow pacing. I watch a lot of those like artsy stuff that people think are really boring, but I kind of already have that. I can turn it I can flip a switch where I can adjust to a slow-paced film.
I mean, it's slow.
Just like I can read subtitles. Sorry.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had a slower pacing, but it was still excellently, so well done. I just loved it. I was just watching.
It had slow pacing, but it built up to a climax, and you could.
It was amazing. Yeah.
This one, I don't know if it really had a climax.
That's pretty rare. Yeah, that's what I felt on this. Is I felt cheated
had many climaxes.
It's like, oh yeah, I didn't know anything about this when I went in. Right, I didn't know it was a true story. I didn't, or
that's crazy.
Here, wait. Let me put up my quotes. Let me put up my quotes. True story.
Right. You don't believe that a woman was raped repeatedly by a demon? It could happen. The very horny demon. Jeez. I mean, come on, man.
No. I'm sorry.
Well, be careful in the shower tonight.
Yeah, I will.
Actually, okay, so everybody talks about that scene with the breasts and everything. One of it was scarier, the scene where she was pinned up against the wall. Like,
yes, now that was
like
weird.
The first attack. I think
that was brutal. Yeah,
that was scary.
Yeah, so she wasn't raping herself.
Well, I guess maybe you attack yourself if you go long enough without any relations.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't. You know me, I'm kind of not. I don't believe in ghosts. I'm not in the paranormal.
One thing I like about this though is this kind of genre.
If I had known,
yeah,
that this was that, and really I felt cheated because I didn't do it 4 times fast.
Oh, well,
I only did it 1.5 because.
But isn't this kind of going with what you've always said? It's like. One thing I like about some of these paranormal, if they're done well, it's what you can't see that's scary. And
well, yeah, absolutely. But at the end, I want it to pay off.
I think this is one of the better ones.
It doesn't pay off though. At the end, it was sort of like that first Annabelle.
Kind of fizzle out.
That's supposed to be the Annabelle one.
Oh, she moved away and it kind of stopped happening. But that's kind of a thing that whenever they do that true story thing.
Yeah, that's me.
How they end. They always end like, oh,
yeah, that's right. And
kind of fizzle out.
You know what? When I hear that, you know what I always do? Oh, damn it! I watched another one of these.
I like the sound a little bit too. The bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
bam, bam.
The sound was good. Yeah,
because that added to the violence. I think
for what it was that never finished.
Yeah,
I mean, I never finished. Let's say I didn't finish, and
I like some of the keywords that they used on. I was looking at keywords for this. It's like plot, rape, lightning, single mom, supernatural, son-mother relationship. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, apparently there was actually a scene that where they actually alluded to like a sexual relationship with, or a fantasy with the son and stuff.
Really?
But that would have been interesting.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming at all.
I thought it was odd that nobody could hear anything that was happening. Like, so she's being violently thrown around the house.
But sometimes they could and sometimes they couldn't.
Well, I'm like, lamps are falling, she's screaming and hitting the walls, and the kids come in and go like, what's happening? Like, 10 minutes later.
Right, but yeah.
I don't know. See, one thing I liked, shadows were used really well in this. There was that one scene where she was laying on the bed and the shadow went across her. Like, it was shadows from the outside.
Right, yeah.
But the way they used it on the ceiling.
Oh, it wasn't like that creepy moss that crawls across.
This was even better. They used real leaves shadows, not the mist that you see nowadays.
The black mist. A little bit too much black mist these days. Even black mist on one of the other ones that we're doing this week. Too much black mist.
And I like the car scene where you discover that it's not a house that's haunting her. It's connected to her somehow.
Yeah.
Where she's just suddenly in a car and she's being attacked in a car. I thought that was a pretty fun scene.
Talking to you about this, I care less and less.
I know, this is kind of how Halloween was.
This is just going down. Yeah.
I love the subtle angles they used. Like, there was an angle. It was the house. Did you see where after the car incident and all this other stuff happened, You knew that the shit had hit the fan basically,
Right.
completely.
No, the camera work was.
They showed an angle, like when she got out of the car, and it was like that
Dutch,
was.
it was a Dutch angle.
And the movie took a dark turn after that.
Right. Well, yeah.
But there were some definitely interesting angles in there.
It was very professionally
like the tub
done.
angle. There's angles of the tub. The
materials must have been worth.
Was angled.
Materials must have been worth $100.
Probably.
I'm still not sold.
You're locked in the bathroom. A ghost is about to attack you. Use your damn cell phone.
So you're telling me that all the stuff that happened in the lab was supposed to have happened in real life?
Sure. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the lightning?
Yeah, that was true 80s. That was 80s rotoscope.
I did laugh.
That was bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the one that goes away. The one that she goes, oh no, it's losing its power. It's losing its power. And it's like,
it's just getting smaller. Yeah. Well, I actually, even though that was really cheesy, I still like this movie. Like.
Yeah, you know, it's like
especially
Frank,
when she says, "I'm going to cooperate with him."
It's like Frank Zappa. I can appreciate that he does a really good job of, what he does, and I should really, really enjoy it because I
love Frank Zappa.
Everything that he's about. I just don't enjoy Frank Zappa's music as hard as I have.
See, that's kind of where I am with the Grateful Dead.
Yeah,
and there are a couple songs I really like.
Yeah,
but I can't just. I don't know.
I know.
Not my thing.
Well, that's I can totally understand that.
But there was a couple songs that I didn't know about that you played for me that I like. So
yeah,
I gotta say that.
I've got people that I have a lot of friends who are really Frank Zappa fanatics,
I love
and
Zappa.
so with them I have learned
60 CDs.
I have learned a whole bunch of stuff about him.
And he was a friend to the musicians, big time.
Yeah,
went up into DC and talked about how you shouldn't censor shit.
Right. And I am all for him, and still, I can't take his music.
Well, maybe
there's just a tonal quality to it, and all of his music has
what's weird?
The same tonal quality to it, and it just drives me insane.
You should hear Dweezil Zappa
do his father stuff,
because it definitely has a different sound to it. But it's the same music, but there's a little Dweezil in it.
I'll have to try that out sometime.
It's Zappa. I have this. Actually, I have
Is it Zappa Light?
It's Zappa Plays Zappa is what it's called.
Oh, right. I've seen. I've heard about it. Yeah.
And actually, I was like, it sounds different, but I still like it.
I liked his 200 Motel. I really liked.
200 Motels is great.
I really like the
Did you like the doo-wop stuff that he did? He did some really cool doo-wop stuff. He did a doo-wop album.
Yeah, it was okay. But I mean, I liked the claymation.
Okay.
It was 200 Motels that has the claymation, right?
Right. Yeah.
I love that claymation. That's about all I played.
I haven't seen that for a long time, but yeah. I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, wow.
I wonder what happened to that guy, because he didn't seem entirely sane.
The turtles in it?
Yeah, he didn't seem...
What happened to Frank Zappa?
No, the guy that did the animation.
Oh, I was going to say. I was like, well, I think we all know what happened to Frank Zappa.
Yeah, brain cancer.
Didn't go so well.
Well, there you go.
So I like where she was like, I'm going to cooperate with the ghost. I'm just going to go ahead and cooperate with him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
An abusive relationship. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe the woman it wasn't the true story that was based on. Maybe the woman was actually in a bad relationship and she started hallucinating. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I'm
going to give it a 2.8.
Did you think it was great when the windows crashed in though?
Yeah, I've done that gag a lot.
I thought this movie was silly but scary at the same time, and I liked the pacing. I liked Barbara Hershey's performance was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think Ron Silver is kind of...
I give it slightly above normal.
The son was kind of annoying because he'd jump in the room like, is everything okay?
Is everything okay?
But fear of the unknown, you're attacked. This is what made this great. You were afraid of the unknown because you couldn't see what was attacking you. You didn't know when it was going to happen. That's why I like the pacing, because there's a lot of times where...
you know what was unknown
you see her reaction shot?
You know what was unknown to me is the fact that it was supposed to be a true story.
Nothing as bad is going to happen. I don't remember who said that. When the boyfriend walks in and she's getting attacked, that was a fucking amazing. Did you remember that shot? That was an amazing shot where the boyfriend walks in and he sees like the thing happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can see that he's like,
oh yeah, completely freaked out. Right.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I'm like, why is he just standing there?
He looked like a weenie.
I think he kind of enjoyed it. Wait, I have a page 4.
I like to watch.
We get to my page 4.
Oh, Jesus.
See, I think I like this a lot better, obviously.
Yeah, you think?
Well, my page 4, I can't find it.
I mean, she did drive the same car as they used in Repo Man, so there was that.
And then she had a friend who was in a bad relationship. I think this was a women's liberal. It was a women's lib film because it was in the early 80s. It was about these women that were in bad relationships.
Don't get me wrong. I love Barbara Hershey.
Obviously, she burned her bra because she was nude a lot of this one.
Yes. She couldn't find her bra. Yeah.
And David, I've seen that guy. That's who I'm thinking of in cop movies, I think, or cop shows. David Labiosa.
Right.
Has he been like in cop shows? Like, I feel like he has.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Oh, 24. CSI.
That's funny.
There we go.
Yeah.
Closer.
Isn't he? He's, yeah. I really do like Ron Silver, though.
Actually, I do like Ron Silver. But when you look at him, what can you cast him in other than a psychologist, a lawyer, a cop, maybe?
A political operative.
Okay.
Right? You know?
Oh, okay.
The head, the middle tobacco industry.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, what do they call it? Mid-executive?
A mid-level executive. Sure.
Mid-level executive, yeah.
Oh, I did have one more thing that's really interesting to me.
I like that you add to me at the end of that, yeah.
There was a guy that did makeup on this.
Yeah.
Makeup effects.
Uh-huh.
Little boy named Stan Winston.
Stan Winston, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh, you know what? I was going to throw in something is the effects were done by Lombardi.
Okay.
Who owned a company called Special Effects Unlimited. Special Effects Unlimited is like the number one. They were like the number one for stuff through the 60s. They were number one for doing mechanical effects. Oh. Right? You know, all rain and smoke and stuff like that. And then by the time it's called Special Effects Unlimited, Lombardi then went on to start one of the premier rental companies that rented out equipment like foggers and large fans and looms for explosions and just fire hoses and just all the stuff they use for special effects. Special Effects Unlimited was like number one probably to this day. Probably isn't run by Lombardi anymore. But, I used to go in there all the time and see him, and I knew that he was very famous. There you go.
Wow.
But I'm still at 2.8.
Really?
I just didn't love it. I didn't care. I really enjoyed it.
I think I agree with the ending. The ending is just kind of fizzles.
The ending just went away.
Just kind of wraps up all of a sudden. It's like, okay,
I would have been at a 3 if they hadn't ended like that. And now I'm back to 2.
We're out of money. Let's pack up and go home, everybody. I still give it like a 3.2. I'm like at a maybe 3.3. I'll just give it a 3.3 because 3s look like breasts if you look at them in the right angle.
Right, and there was a lot of breast.
So 3.3. Yeah, 3.3. Barbara Hershey, if she wasn't in this, I'd probably give it a 2.7.
I'm going to give you that one for sure. I would probably be in the ones. Okay.
I think it's worth watching, and I agree with Martin Scorsese.
I think it's barely worth watching, and I agree with me.
Hats off to Marty.
Hats off to me. See you guys.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.